These attacks have been described as a wake-up call for America. It attacked all through the federal government and numerous private sectors also. Just this weekend, it was reported that the FBI, our premier law enforcement agency for investigating cyber crimes, was itself the victim of a hack that allowed emails to be sent from FBI email servers disguised as genuine FBI emails. In short,
are they about the Gabby Petito case?
Attacks have become more common and potentially
the Brian Laundrie scandal.
Several recent attacks have used a type of malicious software known as ransomware, which encrypts a victim's system and demands a payment in exchange for restoring access.
Well, I guess it's better than having a human
from publishing stolen data. This is especially dangerous because it can
very,
shut down
very
an entire system
unprofessional
and can cause chaos in a community, an industry, or even an entire country.
So can you.
And cyber criminals are now demanding and receiving more money than ever.
So are you.
In March, CNA Financial and Insurance Company reportedly paid the largest known ransom payment ever, a staggering $40 million.
No wonder you're mad about this, because you're not getting all that money.
Ransomware criminals from Eastern Europe attacked the company Colonial Pipeline, resulting in the shutdown of more than
oh well, you were going to shut down the pipelines anyhow.
Miles of gasoline pipeline spanning from Texas to New Jersey and causing temporary gas shortages up and down the East Coast.
Well, son of a bitch.
The cost to unlock the system was $4.4 million.
Holy moly.
Also in May,
who are these people?
JBS Foods, one of the largest
meat suppliers in the
United States, shut down its plants when it suffered.
Don't you know you're on television?
The cost to unlock their system was $11 million. In June, this committee launched an investigation out of concern that these multi-million-dollar ransom payments would equip cyber criminals with even more financial resources.
Do you have a lisp or just a really big
future
lollipop in your mouth?
Today, the committee issued a staff memo with some of the committee's preliminary findings.
I mean, honestly, Miss Mallory.
Attacks often stemmed from minor security lapses.
Minors?
Even at companies with seemingly robust cybersecurity.
Ooh.
A report also highlights the importance of clearly established federal points of contact for companies to avoid wasting precious time when an attack is underway.
Obviously, you didn't write this, Miss Mallory.
Finally,
Maloney, sorry.
Face substantial pressure to pay these ransoms quickly, making it harder to stop.
Your name ought to be Miss Malarkey, because you're full of it.
It's not just large companies that are targeted. Ransomware also harms small businesses.
Yeah, small businesses, mom and pop shops. Quit fucking with us.
Since taking office, the Biden administration has been countering ransom.
Yes, they have. God bless them.
And they are really focusing on ransomware.
They're really balls to the walls.
Priority. This included bringing together 30 nations for a White House summit last month to discuss strategies to combat the threat.
Strength in numbers.
It also means taking a tougher line on countries, including Russia.
I've had enough lines.
That harbor cyber criminals. The Biden administration has also dedicated significant law enforcement resources to take ransomware networks offline and bring criminals to justice.
Well, you're ransoming the American people.
The Department of Justice announced criminal charges against 2 foreign
Get vaxxed or no food
connected to the prolific ransomware criminal group REvil.
So are you.
DOJ also recovered more than $6 million.
I'm sure you're familiar with one another.
Paid. This is a good start, but we cannot afford to let up on our efforts. Congress must ensure coordination.
What do you know?
What
do you know anything about computers or anything, lady?
Federal government and between the public and private sectors. Last Congress, this committee held a hearing on the need to establish a position at the White House to lead the federal government's response to cyber threats. I was proud that President Biden nominated Chris Inglis to serve as the first national transgender this year, and that he has testified before us today.
Okay, it's a he.
I am also pleased that the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which President Biden signed just yesterday,
he did,
included $21 million in funding for the Office of the National Cyber Director.
Oh,
This law, which House Democrats passed over the objections of most
Way to go,
House
Cyber
Republicans,
Director.
will also provide $1 billion to help state and local governments
Amen.
shore up their cybersecurity so we can prevent ransomware attacks, and $100 million to help critical infrastructure respond to significant cyber
You and your big fucking words all the
And the
time.
Build Back Better Act will provide new
The
resources
666
to
Act.
CISA to help enhance cybersecurity in both the public and private
To help to lock you
sectors.
down and to silence you.
Ransomware attacks are a grave national security
My oh my,
challenge.
I'm shaking in my boots.
Today we will hear from our witnesses about the whole of government effort needed to disrupt
Let's hear your
ransomware
co-host's story.
networks and how we can help businesses, state and local governments, and others to prevent, prepare for, and respond to attacks.
You guys make it all sound so nice.
I now recognize the distinguished ranking member, Mr. Comer, for
I don't recognize you, lady.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This year we've seen an uptick in major ransomware attacks that have the ability to wreak havoc upon Americans' everyday lives.
Fucking wreaking
In
havoc.
March, CNA Financial, one of the largest commercial insurers in the U.S., was subject to a ransomware attack and paid $40 million to unlock its network.
How are they still in
In
business?
May, Colonial Pipeline, one of the largest pipelines in the eastern U.S., paid $4.4 million in cryptocurrency to retrieve its data following a ransomware attack.
Well, who hired them to steal
In
it?
June, JBS USA, one of the country's largest meat packers, paid a ransom of $11 million.
You know something
to
about
hackers.
meatpacking, don't you, pal?
These companies made these decisions to pay the ransoms because they did not want to disrupt their supply chain.
Well, sure.
The FBI's official policy is not to advise companies whether or not to pay these ransoms.
Got to keep food on the
During
table.
our many briefings with these companies, this is indeed the FBI's position they took during their negotiations with the ransomware attackers. Even the FBI, the top law enforcement agency
They suck. Just look at the Gabby Petito case.
tasked with fighting cybercrime, is not immune from cyber attacks. Over the weekend, hackers assessed the
They couldn't
FBI's
find him for months.
external email system and spammed potentially thousands of
His parents
people and
found him.
companies by issuing a fake
Bullshit.
warning of a cyber attack. Hackers' ability to penetrate the FBI systems could create catastrophic consequences and chaos. We need to hear from the FBI today on their efforts to disrupt.
We need
and
to lock
protect
y'all up,
Americans
and y'all need to
from these
penetrate each
cyber
other.
attacks. I'm pleased that we have one witness here today
Leave us
who
alone.
is Senate confirmed to discuss how we can disrupt cyber threats to better protect Americans.
How
from
can
the
we disrupt
devastating
Washington?
Consequences of successful ransomware attacks. Unfortunately, this is only the second Senate confirmed witness this committee has had this entire year. That is far below what is normal for this committee.
That's hilarious.
Unfortunately, the Oversight Committee under Democrat leadership refuses to call witnesses from the Biden administration.
Yeah, none of you guys do shit.
And hold them accountable for waste, fraud, abuse, and mismanagement.
Just come in and talk.
Occurring on their watch. Today is the committee's first hearing since the citizens in Virginia sent a very loud message to the Biden administration.
Damn right.
That message to President Biden: no more.
No more.
The American people oppose the Biden
Like a battered
administration's
woman.
radical left-wing policies and are already seeking change. President Biden and congressional Democrats' actions to spend trillions of taxpayers' hard-earned dollars on a socialist agenda has backfired.
I'm sure you're in cahoots
President
too,
Biden
Mr.
is now
Comer.
more unpopular with the American public than nearly any other president at this point in history.
Mr. Comer, I believe
Not
that you
only
wrote
that, but over two-thirds of
the ranking
Americans
member,
think this country
Madam
under President Biden's leadership
President's
is headed in the wrong direction.
script for her today.
People are appropriately comparing President Biden to President Jimmy Carter.
Oh,
President Biden's
That's
policies
shameful.
and decisions have created numerous crises that impact Americans' daily lives. Gas is now 61% higher than this time last year. Inflation is at a 30-year high, causing families to struggle with how to
I have
pay
to
for
decide whether or not I want to
eggs
feed my family or
and other
fucking
basic necessities.
pay at the pump.
This
I
year,
can feel it in my
Thanksgiving is
pocketbooks.
set to be the most expensive Thanksgiving ever.
Well, I
The
suppose I
price
better
of
go.
16-pound turkey is up 18%.
Thanks for joining me.
There's chaos at our ports with
Have a
ships
good evening.
lining up but nowhere to deliver the goods. And to add insult to injury,